Hi. Oh, my dogs just thought that someone was here. They just both jumped up. You guys, nobody's here. It's just me talking to myself. I should be used to that. Hello. I am back, and I just thought that I would make another one of these vlogs. I think I was just like totally overwhelmed by the response of people. I was just so surprised and happy that people liked it. I got a lot of views, a lot more than I thought I would. And I'm just moving my laptop in front of me because I did write down some notes about like how I wanted to kind of do this episode. But welcome to episode 2, and I am so encouraged by, I should start by saying, my name is Amy Knerr, and I'm the indie dyer behind Pancake and Lulu yarn. Welcome to my second ever video podcast. And I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who watched and commented, oh my gosh, and subscribed. I'm like, oh my God, I've got like people that are gonna know when I post another one. So I was kind of moved to do it quickly or soon because, well, first of all, it was really fun actually to interact with people, and filming it wasn't as kind of weird as I thought. It was hard to edit because I don't know much about it. I had to like learn how to use iMovie to edit this, but I learned a lot, and I also feel like it's also pretty easy. And I also felt like maybe the next time I do a video podcast, I'll kind of know what to do. Like if I shouldn't talk too fast because it's easier to edit things out or cut something if there are more pauses, or if I mess up, I can just start talking again from the beginning. Like I'm just so not trained to be behind the camera. But I will learn. And anyway, I just am so thankful to everybody. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for watching, and all the encouraging remarks and comments and everything. So I thought this time, for this episode, one thing I'm supposed to try to do is look more at the camera, I think. One person, my aunt, said I should. So I will try, but this is a phone that I'm recording on, so it's hard to look at the camera because it's over to the left of the screen a little bit. I don't know what most people do. I will try. Maybe it's just that I look away a lot. I don't know. She commented about that, so I'll try to be a little bit more aware of that and look right at the little camera. I thought this time I would follow. I don't have anything quite as exciting as Vogue Knitting Live. There are not that many things that are as exciting as going to Vogue Knitting Live New York, the 10th anniversary. So this episode may be a little less exciting. I hope it's good still. I thought that I would use kind of a traditional knitting podcast format this time, and I would talk about things in a certain order, like first finished objects, then whips, what's in my queue coming up that I'm really excited to cast on, things that I have purchased or gotten recently, if any, so Stashquasitions, and then I would go into like a little shop update part about what yarns I've been dyeing, what are up in my shop right now, and what future things I plan to be making soon. And then the last part will just be like what's been going on in my life, if there's anything left over kind of that I haven't already talked about. My life is sort of intertwined with yarn, I feel like, which is a great thing. I mean, I love it. So most of that stuff, I don't know if there's anything that exciting that happened that isn't related to yarn, this week anyway. So first of all, I will just go into the finished objects part. I have to say that deciding that I was going to make another episode of this really pushed me to finish a couple of things because I thought I wanted to have something in my finished objects section to talk about. And that is awesome. I love it when you have a reason to finish something because you know you want to show it to somebody. So I wanted to show you guys. So the first thing that I actually finished, oh, where is it? It's right here, is my Adventuring Wrap by Ambah O'Brien. I had actually finished knitting this, I think, before the new year, but then I was really, really lame about doing this fringe because I started actually doing the fringe, but it just got boring because it's on both sides. And I also don't have to post this. I'm forgetting what the final date for this knit along is, but it's in February. So now it's February and I better check. But I didn't have to post the finished object picture till now. So I never bothered to finish it because I would rather knit than do fringe. But anyway, I did finish it and I love the way it looks. It's really pretty. It's on both ends. So I'm showing you both sides. I did about a 2-inch fringe, and the little tassel things have I guess I wrapped it around my phone as the length to do, and then I could trim it. I did 4 wraps per tassel, and each color has 3 little tassels on each end. So I had 6 tassels per color. Anyway, it looks really cute with the fringe. And I like that it's not too much of a fringe too. It's a little fringe. So I'm happy that I'm done. Yay, I finished. I have to show you something too, because this was just crazy because I didn't really realize it. I couldn't believe how this bag matches the Advent kit. It's just so crazy that these match so well. I think it had to influence me and I didn't even know. So that was just interesting and funny. Now on to my second finished object. It was a really quick knit, and this was definitely because of you guys that I felt like I could do this and have some finished object for the podcast, the second episode. This is my second finished object. This is a hat by, I'm totally forgetting her, Sharon Lentsch. I will link that below. I think I linked it last time. I don't know if because I had a plan to make it. It's called the Perky Little Hat Pattern. And it is using Freia fibers in the colorway Grapevine. And I'm so happy how this came out. Look at that pom-pom. It's so cool. I could trim it a little more maybe. But anyway, what I love about working with gradient yarn is that it's just so much fun. You want to keep knitting so you can get to the next color. This gradation is so beautiful because you really get to see how it goes from this really, my nails match it, don't they? This beautiful kind of lilac-y purple goes all the way darker, and then these stitches in the middle have this amazing transition to this green. And it goes up, and what was fun was the pom-pom even has some of the green in it, and then it ends in this mustard color. But anyway, this hat is so cute, and I don't think I look very good in hats generally, but I don't think I look great in this hat either, but just because of my straight hair, I just think and my glasses, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, it's pretty cute. It's not bad. I made it extra slouchy because I wanted to use the whole skein of yarn, and if I had done it to the pattern, it would have been more like a skull cap, and I would have missed out on the whole green part. It was it really ended here, but I just kept knitting around and around, and then did the last 2 rows are the decrease rows. I just did them when I got near the end of the green because I thought it would be cool to have a little bit of that green in the pom-pom, and then just do the pom-pom the yellow so that it's like the skein. It's like the full skein. Anyway, it fits really well. I have kind of a large head, I think, so it's only a one size of a pattern, but it fits me really well, and it's a really cute pattern. It was really fun and really easy, and literally took me a couple of hours. I didn't do it all in one sitting, but overall it was just a couple of hours. So this would be a great gift knit. It's always fun to have a new hat anyway. So I was really excited to finish that one also. So those were my 2 finished objects. I can go on now to the next section. It's kind of nice to have this format. My works in progress. Okay, so my works in progress are still my Love Note sweater, which has been progressing. It is really a fun and easy and fast knit. I finished the body, the whole body. I actually made it longer. I think I made it a little bit longer than the long version just because I was knitting it and I didn't measure, and I was like, oh wait, I better measure. And I think it's actually a little, maybe an inch or two even. I think it might be an inch longer, but it hits me perfectly, like right at the kind of high hip. I didn't want the cropped version because I like to wear pants a lot. So I don't really have a lot of high-waisted pants. It would be cute over a dress as the cropped version, but I don't have that many dresses. I don't really wear dresses very often, except when I'm dressing up, but I wanted to like kind of wear this more just whenever I felt like it. I'm almost done with the sleeve because I made it the long version, and just because I like kind of, what I like are bracelet length sleeves, I think they call it, so that they come a little bit, either I like full length or I like bracelet length. I don't really like sleeves that come to kind of here, which I think is what the pattern was saying. So I made the sleeves, I'm making them about 3 inches longer than the pattern says. And then I think they're gonna hit me like right around where this is. Oh, by the way, this is my Find Your Fade cardi. No, why do I call it that? This sweater took me 9 months to make because I got really frustrated. I actually did the whole thing. I didn't do the sleeves. I did the whole body. You have to pick up stitches along here for this big shawl piece, this shawl collar piece. And I picked up the stitches. I didn't know which side was going to show, and I just did a really bad job picking them up, and they looked horrible on the front. So I just threw the bag, I put it in its bag. I threw the bag in the corner, and I just didn't want to look at it again for a long time. So I set it aside for several months, went back to it last summer and finished it. And I'm so glad that I did, because once I kind of needed to like have a break, I made several other things in between. But I'm so happy I didn't give up, because the sweater is so wearable. It's just, I wear it a lot. It's really pretty. The colors I love. See my nails again, really match. I love this colorway, or these colors. They were one of a kind colors that I did for this. And I'm just happy to have like a really practical sweater that I wear a lot. So I'm glad I persevered with that. Back to this. So this is progressing. I think I'll be done very soon. Maybe even if I podcast again in a week, I'll be done. Let's see. So I'm almost done this first sleeve, and it's so fast. Oh, and I'm using circular needles for the sleeves. That's something I discovered recently, and I just love. I don't really like using I don't like the other methods that you can for knitting a small tube. I really don't enjoy double pointed needles that much. It was fine for that hat. I used the double pointed needles. It's fine for bulky, but I don't really enjoy it. I don't like the magic loop very much. I find it awkward. I just like to have the right size. These are a little bit long, but it's okay. It's really stretchy. So the fabric is really stretchy, so it's fine, and it's enjoyable to knit the sleeves in the round. I have another work in progress. I started knitting my dragon fruit socks, and I've gotten this far. I posted a picture on Instagram that I took. This inspired me, actually. Let me put it up close so you can see the little speckles in it. So it looks like a dragon fruit when it's cut. I got inspired to buy a dragon fruit and try it because of these socks, because it's so pretty. And I've been having so much fun knitting these. I've just been going around and around. I have, like I was saying, I got 9-inch needles for this. And a lot of people say that it's really hard to knit on 9-inch needles. I'm not actually having a hard time. I think what it is probably just depends on how you hold your needles and how you knit. There's so many different ways of knitting. I'm a thrower, although I'm very quick I use my finger to like quickly do it, so it's not like a throwing, it's not like a really long process. So I'm pretty fast at knitting. I think I'm pretty fast, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. It's great how portable socks are, which is one of the reasons I wanted to get into them. And I don't know if oh, last time I was saying that I was going to use a gray, I was thinking of using a gray yarn for the cuff, and I decided to use this new color that I dyed up called Avocado. And I think it goes really well with the green in there. But I'm sort of wondering if I should do a pink heel. I could do a solid pink heel and toe. I don't know, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment if you have a point of view. I could just do it all with the green though. I have a lot of minis, obviously, because I dye them. So I can go either way. And I just didn't know what I should do. So let me know if you have an opinion, and maybe I'll go with whatever most people say. But anyway, I love knitting this. It's so much fun. And this is the yarn, Artistic Yarn by Abby. And I got this at Knitty City at Vogue Knitting. And I think I did. I'm sure I showed you how cute the stitch marker is on there, but it looks even cuter now that I've gotten some of it knitted up. And the dragon fruit that I bought was so beautiful. Oh my God, it was perfectly ripe too. And it wasn't that expensive. It was like $3.99 at Whole Foods. And so each of us, and we have a family of 4, each of us had a quarter of it. It's very bland. I think, maybe it's the one I got. I don't know. I think it's very bland. It would be good in a fruit. It would be beautiful in a fruit salad with other fruit. I think it's like on its own, it's not that good tasting, but it is one of the most beautiful fruits ever. And it's a lot like kiwi. I mean, kiwi I like better because it's more flavor, but the texture is a lot like kiwi, and the seeds in it are sort of like the little kiwi seeds. So that's my report on dragon fruit consumption. And anyway, that's my other work in progress. The next section that I wanted to talk about of my very segmented podcast this week is what's coming up, like what things am I so excited to knit. So what's in my queue? Well, I looked in my queue because I was like, I do add stuff to my queue quite often. And it was so many pages long. It was like 15 pages long or something on Ravelry I'm talking about. And so I decided to go through it and clean it up a little bit. And it was really interesting to do that because I've had things in there since I think some of the oldest ones were like 2013. I think I saw a few. It was really interesting to go through it, and I got it down to, I went through, weeded stuff out, stuff I know I don't want to make. It was fun to see some things that I still might want to make. Generally, there weren't that many things that I didn't want to forget about. Let's put it that way. I was like, I don't want to forget about these. I don't know if I'm going to make them. But it was sort of sad because there were a lot of little kid things, like little kid toys and stuff that there's no real reason to make that now. And I got it down to my current count, which I'm sorry I didn't notice what my first original count was, but it's now down to 277 projects in my queue. And these are kind of after weeding too. So there are a lot of things I want to make. The first thing in my queue is the Sorrel sweater. And it's by Wool and Pine. And it's just so beautiful. The version that's out there, is so gorgeous. There's several, it's just a beautiful, beautiful, simple looking sweater with it is a fade, but because it's held, fingering weight yarn is held together with a mohair that is all one color. So it's like you fade it, but it's very, very subtle looking fade. So I think it will be really, really fun and interesting and different. So that's why I decided I have to do that. And I have to dye up a fade for that. So I'm excited to do that. I know a lot of people are really excited about that pattern right now. So I also thought it would be fun, instead of being like doing a pattern like a year later, which is what I often do from when it first comes out and everybody's so excited about it. I thought I would just jump on the bandwagon right in the beginning. And it's almost like a knit along because I think so many people want to do it. So that's going to be fun. I don't know, maybe there even is a knit along. So Sorrel by Wool and Pine is my next sweater that I would like to do, but it is going to probably be a little while because I do have to dye the yarn for that. And that will definitely mean that it's not going to be like next week. And then the third item that I'm interested in is called the Every Bit Cowl by Stephanie Lotven. And last year I made her shortcut cowl, which I loved making. I took it on a vacation trip to Disney World actually, and I worked on that, and it was just a great little project. The idea of the Every Bit Cowl is that it uses up every little bit of one skein of DK weight yarn. So I'm excited to do that as well. And I bought that pattern when it first came out. So it's also one of those patterns that I actually bought and I would like to now use it. Sometimes I buy patterns, like often I get really excited about something like early in the morning and I buy a pattern and then later on I'm like, why did I buy the pattern? But you know what? It's really nice to support designers. Even if you don't end up making the pattern, it's good to support them. So that's how I justify it. I'm like, well, you know what? It's nice. But I do want to make this pattern. So I'm going to do that. It's only one skein. So those are my plans. Now I actually have to go down and get my really exciting Stashquasition yarn. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. By now you probably know that I am a little bit obsessed with the idea of knitting socks, and especially with self-striping yarns. And I may have mentioned before that I really regretted not buying any yarn from Mustache Yarns when I was selling at Indie Untangled, and they had a booth there too. And I wasn't like obsessed with knitting socks. I didn't even think I liked knitting socks then. So it didn't really interest me, but I really regretted it when I started to see all these beautiful self-striping socks pop up on Instagram and vlogs over the holidays with the holiday socks. So I just, after they were not there at Vogue Knitting and I did end up finding some nice sock yarn, but I didn't find their yarn. So I just decided when their update came in the email, I decided to just go for it. So I got this gorgeous, beautiful skein of self-striping yarn, and the colorway is called Be Mine. And their label's so pretty. I expected their label to have a mustache on it. I didn't expect it to have this beautiful little bird. Actually, I think that it looks almost like the little bird is stashing balls of yarn. Anyway, it's such a gorgeous colorway. This is like a really neat system that they have. It's called what did they call it? They are called must match skeins, two identical skeins that are twisted together. So this is a full skein's worth, like 100 grams of yarn, but it is divided up into two skeins that are twisted together, and they both start and stop at exactly the same point. So when you wind them on your ball winder, you will know that you will start knitting at the same exact spot for the second sock, which is really helpful. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know yet what colors I'm going to choose for the rib and the heel and the toe for this. I think they show it on their website with a really pretty like little speckle, like very light. I think I might do that, something like that. I might dye myself some mini skeins of like a very lightly pastel speckled yarn, because it looks so pretty, the yarn that they had it with. Beautiful Stashquasition that I just decided to treat myself. I dyed a lot of this special base for Valentine's Day called Love Letter. These are the DKs. I think the bulky is really amazing. I knew it would be. DKs and bulky. It's a bulky single, and it's applied DK, and the single fingering is beautiful. That's what I'm using in my Love Note cardigan. It's my favorite single base to use. And I also have it on a sparkle fingering base, which really sold well already. Like, people seem to like that one a lot because it kind of goes well with sparkle, and pink and purple is like just so fun. I can dye this color on any base that I have in my shop. So if you see a different base that you want, like if you want to try it on mohair, it will look kind of different, but the colors will, you know, it'll go with. Mohair takes the dye in a much more, a less speckly way. It's much more spreading out way. But there's lots of this in my shop right now. So check it out. I also decided to make love note kits that go use the Sorrel in bone that I'm using and holding together with this single love letter colorway that I made. So those kits in every size that Tin Can Knits offers for their pattern, I have a kit that you can buy. So it just makes it easy. You don't have to try to figure out if you like the one I'm making, you can just buy the kit. So that's in my shop as well. I did put a couple of other items up in my shop that were special for the season. So they're in the shop update section. This one's called Loch Ness Lobster. And it's a speckly kind of lobster. It goes with my lobster bisque semi-solid colorway. This one has some beautiful speckles in it. And am I maybe doing that too close? But it's like a neutral. It's a very pretty color. It's only on ply DK. So I only have that in the ply DK. I have also, I also have this. This actually looks a lot like the yarn in my sweater. But I dyed it another time. It's called Sleeping Moody. And this is a ply DK as well. Let me get this tag out of the way. It's got some specklies, tonal speckles, I guess you would call it. It's not that speckly, but it has some like yellowish browns in there as well. A little bit of rust. Purples are hard to reproduce on camera. Like this is actually looking more red on the camera. It's a little more moody purpley, but also it's muted. It's definitely not a bright. It looks a little brighter on the screen there. What else? The other one I put up in the shop is called House on Orchid Hill. This is a really pretty orchid colorway. It's only on ply fingering sock base. So this is a good, people love this base. It's got some speckles of purple in there, but it's really like an orchid, would read as a semi-solid orchid, but with speckles. So it's really fun to knit with. I like knitting with semi-solids that have some speckle in them. But I also put up two, I actually made a section of my shop for things to go with this special yarn, Love Letter. Tonal, semi-solid tonals that would really complement it well. So the two that I would suggest if you wanted to use a semi-solid with this special colorway would be, this is called Lilac Chaser, and this is available on any base, but here it is on the ply DK to show what it looks like with it. This color, this lilac color is in this, so it would go really well together. And the other color that's in it that would go really well is this Pop, which is so bright. It really is that bright. It's a really neon pink bright. It looks a little redder, I think, maybe, on my camera. It's a very beautiful, like Barbie pink. It's a great color. And so these three colors really go well together if you wanted to do something with some semi-solids and this special speckle for Valentine's Day. So those are all in my shop, right on the front page. I made a special section. So I think that is it for the shop. Let me look in my basket for the shop update section. This week in my shop, in my workshop, I will be creating the yarns for the February clubs. I have a Yarn of the Month club. You can choose, the colorway is always a secret. You can give preferences, like if you really don't like certain colors, I will avoid them and not send those to you. You can choose which base you want, even down to getting the same exact base every month. Or you can mix it up and have a variety of bases or a variety of weights. I have a yarn club, a mini skein club, and a fiber club for spinners and felters. So I'm going to be working on that for the rest of the week. The other thing that I'm starting to think about is some new seasonal colors for springtime. So those will be coming pretty soon to the shop. So check it out. You can also sign up for my newsletter to find out, although I'm not that good at doing the newsletter. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better about that. So the last part of this podcast will be just about what's been going on with me in my life. I had my trunk show at Do Ewe Knit in Fanwood, New Jersey, and it was so much fun. It was a really nice day. I was so thrilled that people came to see my yarn. Thank you so much if you came to see me and meet me and squish and touch and buy and chat. And it was just so nice to meet you. I was so thrilled. It was really fun to hang out in a yarn store all day. It was like kind of a fantasy world for me, sitting, and it wasn't super busy, but that's fine. Like, a lot of people came to see me, which was fun and so nice. The rest of the time when it wasn't busy, we got to sit around and knit around a table. So I had such a nice time with Karen. Thank you so much, Karen, for, if you're watching, I don't think you probably are, but I want to send my thanks to Karen for having me, for hosting me. The lovely ladies that knit all day with us around the table. It was so much fun chatting, and it was just like really fun to pretend that I just do that all the time and work in a yarn store. The other really nice thing is that I got invited to join 2 different knitting groups that are local to me. So I was like, oh my God, I mentioned on the last episode that I didn't have a knitting group, and 2 people reached out to me and said, we have knitting groups, and they're 2 different ones. I know I'm not going to be able to make both every week. I want to try to do as many as I can, but I am the driver for my daughter for soccer practices, which are like most nights. It's like almost every day we have to do something with soccer because she's in high school, and it's a big deal. So I will do it when I can, but I am so thrilled that I got to find out about these 2 knitting groups, and I was invited. It was just so sweet and nice of you guys to invite me. So I'm really thrilled, and I will try to come as much as I can. Oh, if you're still watching, please subscribe and like and comment. I love your comments so much. It's been so nice to get them all throughout the week. I'm just still just blown away that so many people watched this. And thank you so much for watching again. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Bye. I hope I don't have to edit this too much. I might leave some stuff in. Anyway, I'm not even gonna go into that. Never mind. Forget it. Okay. My stomach just growled. I have to see if that's really what it's called. Okay.